What's up, everybody? Jackson here today with my little brother Chubbz.
Hello, everyone.
Today we got a pair of articles we want to talk about. One being that EA came out and they said that we're sorry we got loot boxes wrong in Battlefront 2. And as moving forward as a company, we're going to try to not do this as much. It's bullshit, alright? I'm a firm believer that they pushed really hard with Battlefront 2 so they could pull later and get away with it.
Right.
Because here's the thing. The other one was Bioware came out and they said that the failure of Mass Effect Andromeda, which I don't think it was that big of a failure commercially, probably.
Yeah, talking about the negative reception.
But he came out, he said we wanted to do Quarian DLC, but we couldn't. And here's the thing. They did do like a bunch, I think they did PvP or multiplayer DLC.
Right.
They definitely did updates. They had a team working on that, adding things continually to that. What all they added, I don't know, but I know that game made a fuckload of money in the multiplayer.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we have Manveer Air, is that his name?
Manveer Air, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But he came out and he said the customer bought like what, 3,000 or was it? It was even more. I think it was like 15,000.
Yeah, 15,000 in a week. And he was also in that article talking about how BioWare's focus shifted from the single player focus to the multiplayer.
That's BioWare, EA.
EA.
He was talking about EA broadly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. BioWare is EA. All right.
That is true. But he was saying that the focus was being shifted a lot from the single player campaigns to the multiplayer, and that's because those are the most lucrative.
So here's the problem as we see it. You got games like Overwatch. You have games like Rocket League, and these have loot boxes in them, and people defend them as being the right way to do loot boxes. If you're going to do loot boxes, they should only be cosmetic. They should only do this, they should only be that, and they should be earned through gameplay, and you shouldn't be able to get a cosmetic advantage by buying more than someone else.
Right.
Here's the thing about loot boxes. Cut through the shit, okay? I love Psionics as much as you do. I love Rocket League as much as you do, alright? I have friends who play Overwatch, love Overwatch, but let's cut through the shit. When it comes to loot boxes, they exist because they understand that people have an addictive mentality towards them. That if they have these things there, and they do it in a way that's like Overwatch, where it's you get them for free, you can earn them all in game, you get currency for duplicates, like it's the correct model of fucking RNG based loot boxes, like it's the correct model,
right?
Okay, it doesn't matter, like that exists because Blizzard understands that the fucking whales are gonna be able to play and have fun gambling on these fucking skins and shit, and the regular Overwatch player is going to be complacent in it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to say, oh, yeah, but this is fair. Like, look at all these skins I've gotten.
Well,
look at all of these, and that's the thing. Like, at what point do we get to where RNG-based loot boxes are wrong? I think they are fucking wrong. I don't think they need to exist.
In any way, shape, or form.
I think these companies can make plenty of fucking money selling optional things without fucking burying them in a fucking RNG loot system.
In a mystery box, yeah.
But the thing is, the mystery box makes them more money.
Exactly. And that's the one thing about this article that I want to bring up about Battlefront 2 is the guy for EA talking about, oh, we're fixing it, we're sorry, This guy is also saying the reason why the loot boxes were there in the first place, because, he has to justify his actions and the actions of his company to put these things in there in such a grotesque, insidious way. He's bringing up his justification saying, well, the number one thing we were looking at is we wanted to keep player retention. What keeps people playing for longer? And the loot box system was there to incentivize players to keep playing for longer. But it was also a way that we could get return from it. He actually mentioned that in the same sentence.
Yes, but the way you're kind of misconstruing what he said a little. You're not wrong. You're cutting through the bullshit of what he said.
Right.
What he said was that he wanted a way to support the game and keep the game active and alive. And in order to do that, they needed to add these things.
Right.
And in order to keep players playing, they would have to add new content. Here's the thing. When you look at that argument as from the perspective of a developer and a publisher, to where it's like, look, like we want to have live games.
Right. We want to have
We want to deliver
development.
games that, hopefully are a good experience. Let's just do it how they would, spit the party line. We want to deliver excellent day one experiences that continue to evolve and get better and add more things for the player to do that. In order to do that, we have to have some sort of income coming back to us. And we've decided that loot boxes are the best way to do that. Okay, let's cut right there. Let's stop. I don't think that loot boxes need to be that way.
No.
I think that at a day one price of $60 with DLCs that you want to do, like Destiny, fucking Destiny's fucking DLC plan, right? If you want to do that sort of thing, do that. Label it as such. Let people know what they're buying. When I buy The Taken King, I know I'm getting The Taken King, right? Like, I can look up, I can see what I'm getting. When I buy a loot box, I only can see what I might get.
Yes, the chances of certain items.
I might get this skin. I might get this skin. If it's an event, I might get an event item.
Yeah.
I might not, right? That's the thing where I don't think that little fucking situation needs to be there in order for them to make money. I think with the popularity of Overwatch, the amount of copies sold, if they either A, said it's $3 a skin, $2.99, you can pick any skin you want for any fucking character, right? Maybe $1.99 for the ones that are simple recolors, right?
Right.
$1.99 for a spray, $1.99 for a voice line, whatever. They would make money off of those. They would have enough people interested in the idea of expanding their collection of things in this game that they play a lot of. I mean, people play it like Chris plays Rocket League, right?
Right.
Chris plays Rocket League a fucking shitload. He loves the game. He loves the competitive play. People do that with Overwatch. They love the fucking game. They love the competitive play. I think there's enough of those people who spend enough time in the game. People who've probably thrown down $20-$30 for loot boxes during the course of playing it. Because they do just play it so long.
Because they do enjoy it, and they do want the developers to make good on their promise of adding ongoing content to the game to spice it up.
Right? And so that's the thing. Like, I think there's enough people who are interested in these games that would be buying these skins. Or say they do it through a currency system where they're like, you level up, you get this much currency. Oh, you did that well during that match, you get this much currency. All right, now you have this currency, you can go and pick what skin you want to buy. Here's the price of the skins. Here's how much you can buy currency for.
Right.
Right? See, that's the problem with loot boxes. Is I think that these sorts of microtransactions are more fair. And even then, I don't think those are fair in a game like Overwatch. I think a game has to earn selling you extra shit.
Right.
So like in Assassin's Creed Origins, minus the fucking loot boxes, fucking Ghost Recon Wildlands, minus the fucking loot boxes, all these aesthetic things that you can go through and buy, and they have like combo packs that give you multiple skins. They have all of these things that you're picking and choosing, right? Those are all right with me.
Right.
Because those are in games that are already a full, large like if The Witcher, fucking God forbid, I don't think CDPR would ever do it. I don't think they would argue that they had to do it. I think there's a lot of companies that would say, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. We did great with our game. We made tons of fucking money off of it, and it's microtransaction free.
Yeah.
Right? We sold DLC for it. We made plenty of fucking money off of it. Right? So, but let's say that in The Witcher, they had a bunch of things that would just like change the way your sword looked, change the way your skin looked, okay? No one's gonna buy them because it's gonna be like Bethesda with their dumbass Creation Club. I'll just make a mod for it and download it for free, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Right? But either way, in that situation, I wouldn't care, right? But let's flip it. Let's say they're selling different looks for your swords, different armor sets, alternative appearances for Geralt. They're selling all this shit, but they're now in a loot box. And they say the only way that we can deliver you like expansion content like Blood and Wine and fucking Hearts of Stone, the only way we can do that is if we sell you these skins for Geralt in a randomized loot box. Everyone's gonna come out and say, fuck you, CDPR, that's bullshit. You don't have
to do that.
But in the same breath, they'll defend games like Overwatch, games like Rocket League, because they do play them a lot. They see the intrinsic value that spending an extra, $50 a paycheck on skins that they play the game a shitload in You know, these are skins that I'm going to get my use out of. I'm playing this game all the time.
Right.
I want to look, I want to look cool. I want to fucking show off for my friends. Whatever it is, there's value there. And I think people would still buy that if they were selling it straight up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Ubisoft is having any trouble selling skins and shit in those games. Like, they're not selling nearly as much as, like, Overwatch would if they made them available for, individual decision-based purchases.
Right.
I don't think they're making as much as Blizzard would, but I don't think that they're not making money. Because they've given, in Ghost Recon Wildlands, they've given fucking, like, multiplayer PvP out for free to anyone who owned the game. They've added, like, the first DLC sucked. The second DLC was pretty great. I did my research. I picked that up. It was fucking great. It added a lot of playtime for me and Cam. I think we got like 60, 70 more hours in that game because of that DLC.
Right.
So, like, those sorts of situations, those sorts of games, I have no problem with you selling extra things when me as a day one buyer, at some point, I might be incentivized to come back and pick up your game. Hollow Knight does this.
Yeah.
Right? Hollow Knight does this. So, like, and Hollow Knight isn't selling extra things. They're making money.
Yeah, they're just adding stuff to it to build more hype.
They're
going to
bring
more
it,
copies.
and they're going to bring it to the Switch. And because they've added free shit, they've expanded upon what they had already, which was fucking incredible. My first playthrough took me 45 hours. Right? What they already had, on top of that, we're talking 3 playthroughs after that, and they've still added stuff to the point now where I'm waiting for the next big update. So I am incentivized to come back and play it. I'm incentivized to mention it in this video and encourage anyone else who likes like 2D Metroidvania, Symphony of the Night style fucking games.
Right.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Right? When it hits Switch, fucking buy it. You will not be disappointed. You will get the exact experience you're waiting for, and it will be more full than I got. Right? And then when it hits PS4, and then when it hits... These companies are fine. They're making money. So don't come to me and tell me that Blizzard Entertainment, with their massive network of loot box apologists, cosmetic-only apologists, apologizing for the depth of the game, apologizing for the lack of extra things in the game, apologizing for the fact, but look at these heroes they give us.
Yeah.
The heroes that come with tons of new skins, emotes, and sprays for you to collect.
As soon as they drop.
And that's the thing. So, of course, when they give you a free character, it's not like they're even giving you anything. They're receiving from that.
Oh, yeah.
Because now, it's not like you can spend $25 and now own all the skins and shit for that character. No, you gotta spend God knows how much, because you don't get to decide what you get when you get it.
Yeah.
You gotta spend until you either get enough duplicates to buy what you want with the currency, or you gotta wait until RNGesus favors you and delivers you a blessed legendary skin.
Yep.
Right? So why are these being defended? Why are these being, and you see with them saying, well, we're refocusing with Anthem, like Mass Effect Andromeda. What did Mass Effect Andromeda teach them? It taught them that loot boxes being sold in a multiplayer format get bought a fuckload.
Even if your game is shit on, you will still see a lucrative amount of success from that game that was remarked as a piece of shit.
Well, months and months after the release of Mass Effect Andromeda, I wasn't seeing any more, everyone hopped on the hate train and destroyed
people hated it.
Everyone was on top of it. But then I was still seeing fucking news about the multiplayer.
Yep.
I'd see PC Gamer, Kotaku, whatever. They'd drop a news story about Mass Effect multiplayer, a new map, or, all this. It's because that's what Bioware learned. So if Anthem comes out, and it's going to be like Destiny. Like, that's the market they're aiming for. I looked at it, and honestly, from the little that I've seen, it almost looks more like Warframe to me.
Right.
Because it looks like you're going to have like a suit of armor.
A mech suit.
Yeah, that you're going to be able to fucking, fuck around with and modify and change. It honestly looks to me more like Warframe than it does even Destiny. So at that point, it's like, why are we paying companies $60 for free-to-play mobile experiences? Well, you've got to bring something to the table, right? So Anthem already, it's set at a high standard and also at a low standard. If it's appealing to the Destiny crowd, no offense to anyone who's like had their love affair with Destiny and you're done with it now. But if you're still like hardcore Destiny player from day one Destiny all the way to now, you still defend fucking Bungie. You say that they've done everything right, they've done everything accord, they've done you right as a customer. If you still say that, well, your expectations are incredibly low. So Anthem could come out and it could deliver an 11-hour experience with just a more interesting grind than Destiny. Just a more interesting end game sort of customization.
More of a progression with the character.
That's all it needs, and it's already better than Destiny, okay? But then there's people like us who've played Warframe, played fucking, you know, all sorts of MMOs, free-to-play games. You know, we've seen grind systems in play. We know the difference between a good grind that has thought put into it, built into a giant experience, and the difference between that and a hollow fucking grind based on a single fucking dice roll, almost always based on a dice roll on an already short hollow experience.
Yep.
Right? So that's where Anthem stands. But you don't have to have a good game to make money.
Nope.
You don't have to have good multiplayer, well thought out. All you need is a fucking horde mode. And you can get $15,000 off of a single fucking customer.
As long as the loot box system is there in place.
Now, EA oversteps with Battlefront 2. They push it to see how far it can go. Well, what's the problem with this? All of a sudden, you have people coming out saying, well, if it was only cosmetic, maybe we'd be fine with it. What?
Yeah.
So now we've gone to that side, where as long as it's cosmetic only, as long as it's like Overwatch.
Right, like you can have
as long
loot boxes.
as it's like Rocket League.
We like loot boxes. We're completely fine with loot boxes as long as it's cosmetic only.
Why are you okay with loot boxes? Why are you okay with companies saying fuck you and your decision on what you get to buy? And don't give me this, it's like the card packs. People always come out with this argument. It's like when you buy a pack of cards, you're gambling. And it's like, yeah, but there's guaranteed things of what's going to be in there. Like, I know I'm going to get a rare or a legendary or higher, whatever the fucking epic sauce shit of the card pack is. I know I'm getting one of those. It might not be one I need. It might not be one I own.
And it
might be one I already own. But guess what? I can turn around to these other fat hairy slobs around me and say, hey dudes, you need this? I need a fucking new one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we all get along together. We all trade. You know what I mean? That's
and you take care of that card 25 years later, you can sell that single card for fucking 10 times.
We sold off all of our rares, all of our like really hard to get by items, and a bunch of like just bulk old stuff that people, you know, it had like nostalgic value to it. I sold a bunch of shit. I got like $500 out of it.
Yep.
Right? That's the difference. What are you going to do with this fucking air? What do you do when Overwatch's servers go down? Like, fucking say Overwatch is just done all of a sudden. They're like, we're done. What do you really own?
Yeah.
You don't even own the game.
Yeah, what are you putting in your closet to sit on to gain physical value? None of it was physical value. It was all intrinsic value. It was value based off of you, your experiences, and your emotions. It's not something you can hold. It's not something that you can sell later. It's literally a bunch of stuff that you've already paid $60 to get.
The thing is that's video games in general. Okay? Like, video games in general is just like going to see a movie.
Yes.
Right? It's nothing. It's giving you nothing really.
At this point, it's more of just an experience.
Yes, it's there to entertain you. But that's the thing. Experience. That's the key word. It's like what I was talking to Aristotle when we were playing Monster Hunter World that night. My buddy Aristotle goes, you know what my problem is with fucking Destiny and their microtransactions is none of it lead to any experience. They're always talking about how, you know, the point of our game is for players to go out and make their own experiences, but they never give you the tools to do that. And he was like, so check this, Jax. And I was fucking tired. I was into this. This sounded fucking, I was like, I would buy that game day one if that existed. But he was like, check it out. So there's a war with the fucking Cabal, right? That's what they say, but does it ever really feel that way? I mean, sure, they make you slow walk through a fucking room full of refugees and shit and like the tower, but by the end of the game, 11 hours later, the tower's up and running and everything's back normal. Cabal. It's like, he was like, they want to do this. Well, have it be like fucking a campaign. A war campaign.
A full-fledged game.
Your first game, like Destiny 2, that's what it is. You make it feel like I'm battling the Cabal. You have a live server that determines like how well the Guardians are doing versus them. You don't frame it in this narrative that doesn't leave room for other players to exist.
Right.
The entire narrative in Destiny 2 was framed in a way that no other Guardian could exist.
Yeah.
Me and you are together in the same mission, and we're both being told that we're unique. We're the only Guardians with power. What?
All of them lost light. Meanwhile, me you, and 20 other people.
And we had the same exact experience. It was the same exact thing we all saw that was supposed to be only unique to us.
Yeah, it was like watching it from a single perspective.
They frame it already out of where you have to have suspension of disbelief like a motherfucker to sit there and believe that you're the only one who has power when there's a fucking literally a fucking group zone in the same mission where you're meant to fucking work with other players and watch them use the light. You're like, how am I unique again?
Yeah.
Why? How am I the only?
So we all went to the same shard of the Traveler and all got the light
and we all got
the exact same time.
It was never framed. You frame it like you're a soldier in a fucking army, Ari says. So like when you're pushing against the Cabal. And you're pushing, and there's a line, and it shows it, and it's on a planet, and you could do it on all the planets, have all the different war fronts. And when you're there, it feels like a battle. It feels like a grand scale thing. He's like, you do that, I'll give you money to buy, like, nuclear strikes. I'll give you money to buy, like, tactical shit. Because let's say we're in one of those events, and me and you, Jax, we're on the front line, and we're fucking shooting these guys, and we're trying to push back the Cabal and keep our forward bases operational so Guardians can continue to battle this, extreme zone. And he's like, and say I got $5 on my account, and I could buy a fucking nuclear strike, I can set it down over there, and we win this moment, we win this battle, and it actually pushes our line forward, and we get another forward base with new NPCs and new quests to do, and new dailies to grind. He's like, that's what I want. You give me that experience, I'll give you $50. Fuck $5.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, these companies don't want grand experiences.
Well, that would be too much work.
Exactly. They want to work the littlest amount possible and get the most return. So when you tell me like, oh, but Overwatch adds stuff all the time. They add cinematics online, so that's work going there. Okay, but those cinematics are to push their agenda of selling you on this game, right? They're still marketing the game to you with those cutscenes. That's what those cutscenes are for.
Oh, yeah.
They're to market the game to you. Then they say, well, they give us characters, though. They give us characters. Okay, well, they also give you a bunch of skins to the character that you can't even pick and choose which ones you want. All right? So at what point are we going to hold Blizzard, Rocket League, Psyonix, Overwatch, hold them to the same standard as any other company?
That puts any amount of loot boxes
because
in
if
the game.
we don't do that collectively as a gaming community, if we don't all stop spending money on loot boxes and say loot boxes are wrong, loot boxes are not going away. They'll just be delivered in a fucking way where, oh, well, every time I level up in Anthem past max level, I can get a loot box now.
Yep.
And then I can take it over here and I can open it, and then if I want, I can buy more here, right? That's just Destiny 2, but that's what Destiny 2 is, okay? So if can Anthem do that? But then they're walking that line of like, yeah, but Destiny's getting hammered now.
Yeah,
we
gotta put it in just like a
but
little
it's getting
bit
hammered.
better.
It's getting hammered with a giant caveat of like, well, if they have a Taken King moment, it's gonna be better like Destiny 1
If they make it like Destiny 1, it'll be good.
And that's the thing, like, so it's just interesting to see all of this going down. It's interesting to see BioWare say, like, we learned our lesson with Andromeda, when all Andromeda would have taught them is that, like, shallow multiplayer with shallow, pointless loot boxes can make fucking $15,000 off of one customer. It's
lucrative and will probably not get shit on. And all the negative reception that it received was about the single-player campaign, which that is teaching them a negative lesson to not focus on the single-player campaign.
That's why I would not expect a whole lot from Anthem.
At all.
I'm not expecting a lot from it. I'm expecting it to be an average, free-to-play, fucking, like, grind game with AAA flash.
Oh, yeah.
And a fucking AAA coat of paint. So it'll look really good. Destiny looks fucking amazing. But Destiny has a way, way more shallow fucking grind system than even free-to-play games.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost unfair
I mean, the fact that they
like Warframe would be the closest to compare, and even Warframe, even though it's basically the same because you're doing the same things over and over again.
You have
know,
an
like
in-game economy.
defend, capture, do this, do that, kill everybody, sneak through, stealth mission, blah blah blah.
Loot
it's
it.
all it's all the same thing, but that's what Destiny is. But there's like you said, there's a progression system that's thick lined on top of it.
And then on top of that, that progression system, which is all based around upgrades that you get to your suit, like you were saying, the mech suit that you can add augments to. Well, they actually have an in-game economy. So you can trade some of the more rare pieces that you need. So you don't even need to spend money on those things or grind them.
And you never have to play for random things. The only random thing you're looking for is boss drops.
Yep.
You're not having to say, okay, well, if I buy this thing, am I going to get this thing or am I not going to get this thing? And Warframe makes tons of money. Okay? So I'm so sick of this fucking... that is the line. That is the line that needs to drop. Because if it doesn't, if that line keeps coming out of gamers' mouths over and over again, that it's okay because it's only cosmetic, it's fair because it's only cosmetic, and that's the only way they can continue to support games and give us new content is because they're cosmetic. Okay? As long as those three things are keep being said, and they're lies. They're lies.
Oh, yeah.
If you pay attention, you can see they are lies.
These are AAA companies.
If you
These
have
aren't
a
indie developers.
If you have a good product that's offering an experience that people can't get elsewhere, you can sell people things and they will buy them without you having to hide them behind RNG-based loot boxes. Overwatch could sell individuals, they could do currency, they would make all the money they needed. There would be no problems.
Oh, yeah.
No problems. If you're defending those loot boxes, saying they can't do that and they shouldn't do that for any reason, you love the loot boxes. You love the high you get getting shit out of loot boxes. Because I know Toxic would say, oh, I'd much rather be able to earn currency and buy shit I wanted. Right? I'm Sarabi would. Most people who play Overwatch a lot would say that. Would say that it, you know what? I don't see why they have to bury him behind there. If they need to sell us more shit so they can keep the game alive and going, I'm fine with that because I do love this game. I played a lot. But just let me pick what I want.
Yeah.
Stop forcing me. I mean, and that gives you a goal. That tells you, okay, well, I'm averaging this much per match and this much per match. And so I could pick out, that skin. Okay, and like, I'm going to have this skin in a couple hours. Right? But no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because at a certain point, your customer is going to be capped on what you have to spend. And then you have to work hard and you have to add content that people want to buy.
Yep.
Right? Think of how many more characters there'd be coming out if that's the way it was. If with each fucking character release, they knew there was a cap on the amount of what they would make. Well, there'd be more skins. I guarantee you there'd be more skins. There'd be more characters probably with more skins.
Oh yeah, they'd be adding them like every week.
You can't tell me that the amount of content they've added is as a result of the loot boxes.
You can't.
I'd say it is, but I'd say it'd be more.
Right.
If the loot boxes didn't exist, because
Exactly.
then they have a cap. They can't hook a well for more than, $200 past the base $60 price.
Yeah.
Or fucking in the worst extreme, I would say, because that's the thing, $200. That's me saying $200 to buy everything. It might even be more, depending on the price they set on them and the amount of them they fucking put out there.
And
but
not
I'd
only
say
that-
$260 is enough for you to make on a single purchase from somebody that's enough to keep your game going for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're fucked as a company and you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
But
and you're
that's-
sending millions overseas to just sit there.
But that's the thing, is that's the AAA market that we're in right now. And these companies that are doing this, like these Blizzard Vision, Overwatch, they are actually teaching other AAA companies how you can do it the correct way.
Well, and it's almost like, what if it was set into place by EA, and this is a wild out there conspiracy, but it's going to have this effect whether they intended it to or not.
Right.
They come out with these uber aggressive, pay to win fucking mechanics. You have to grind to unlock heroes in our game. You have to grind to unlock loot boxes. And then you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, they did this shit like fucked.
Almost pushing it to
Almost
the
like
shadow of war.
Almost like it was supposed to be fucked.
Yeah.
Because how dumb are you at EA DICE where you're not like immediately looking at this and saying, oh, this is gonna be a problem.
Oh, this is pay to win. Somebody
This
can
is
drop
like,
$1,000
okay, and you
and
see,
win.
you already see controversies like what you saw with For Honor, where Homeboy comes out, game director says, we never intended everyone to unlock all this
Yeah.
shit. Well, why? That's a game they're paying for all the content. They should fucking have access to all that content. Whether it's buried behind a time wall or not, they should be able to realistically obtain it.
In
It
a
shouldn't take them,
reasonable amount of time.
3 fucking years of gameplay or $20,000 or whatever it was. Should not take that much.
At all.
Right? So EA's already seen shit like that happen, seen the outrage over that. Then they could do this and not anyone checks it and says, hold on. Think we're pushing this one too far?
Right?
You gotta
This slipped everybody's radar.
Yeah, you can't tell me that no one fucking said, hold on, like, there's gonna be a problem with this. But they said, oh wait, but we could reel it back in, put in cosmetics for sale, and then everyone's cool with it, right?
Yeah.
And then when Anthem comes out, and it's only cosmetic loot boxes, cosmetic only loot boxes in a game that already has a way for you to earn them that's realistic and reasonable, all of a sudden, it's not so bad.
Nope. And they end up being the white knights in shiny armor.
Yep, because right now with Star Wars Battlefront 2, they're better than Bungie, they're better than Overwatch, they're better than those games by Activision, because those games by Activision's, although they're only cosmetic, although they say they're supporting, progressing the game and adding meaningful stuff later,
right.
Although they're saying all that, and it's this model formula that people are like, that's how you do loot boxes. That's how you do loot boxes right there. Even though it's that, they're better.
Oh, yeah.
Because Battlefront 2 lets you pick what you want. It doesn't sell you loot boxes at all. You can only earn loot boxes. You can't get them at all. But they're there.
Yeah,
They're there. That's an acknowledgement of their popularity.
But there's there are only cosmetics in them. Because that's what they've learned.
And they're not for sale.
You don't sell them, you just earn them, and they're only cosmetic. You're immediately your shit, it smells awesome.
You're the good guy in town. You're now like Overwatch, but better. And if, that's the thing. Like, Overwatch being defended is concerning. I'm not telling you not to defend the gameplay, not to defend your time spent in the game, but always call into question Blizzard's loot boxes. Always say they're unfair. Always say that, because that's the thing, but it's just not going to happen. The popularity of this game has reached a point where it's beyond that now. There will be no loot box controversy with Overwatch. No one will stir up a stink about this. They'll still be defended because they're just entrenched now. They are entrenched.
That's why I think when the law comes, because it's coming, they're going to be one of the at least the top 10 on the hit list.
They'll find a way to work around it.
Oh, they'll try. But that's the thing, is it's all just about time. I'm not going to put it past them to say they're not going to find a way around it. Because they've got those Activision lawyers, the fucking multi-billion dollar
they found a way
around.
They found a way around the Chinese law with drop rates.
They have multi-billion dollars to be able to work around laws and get lawyers in who know the law well enough to fucking
That's
work
why
around.
Realistically, I don't think we're going to see any problems going their way.
Right.
I think that they'll be above it all always. They'll pay people off legally. They'll pay lawyers to fight the cases. They'll do whatever little tweaks they have to do, but they'll never stop taking advantage of people's addiction to loot boxes.
Yep.
Because make no mistake, if you're defending loot boxes, you're addicted to them. I'm sorry, that might be hard to hear, but odds are you're not here anymore anyway. But if you feel the need to defend loot boxes, maybe you should question why. Why am I defending this loot box? What is this loot box really doing except for giving me random rewards?
Yeah, even if
Are you someone who doesn't
Yeah.
know what you're going to pick? Are you someone who doesn't have an idea of even what you want until you get it? You like everything being given to you randomly? That's not the best things in life. You work for, you look at, and you say, that's my goal. And then once you hit that point and you get that goddamn character, that character skin, that character whatever, that shit holds more meaning to you.
That's a moment of triumph.
Because you worked towards it, you wanted it, you got it.
And you earned it.
And that's infinitely better than just, I got
cool.
these things. I don't know if I wanted them or not, but they're here now and I've got them.
I pulled a Will.
That's when you see people buying more and more of these. Because at that point, they're not even hunting anything specific. They don't know what they want. They
Yeah.
just want to see what they get.
Yeah, what they could get.
Yeah. Well, no, not even that. They're not even looking at. I guarantee you, people don't have things in mind they want. I bet you, like, the people who are dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars into Overwatch loot boxes, they're just opening them and being like, that's what I got. That's what I got. That's the game to them.
Yeah.
It's not going through and picking one and being like, God, I hope I get that. And you're looking at characters you're playing and you're like, oh, that's a cool skin. They're not doing that. They're only buying the loot boxes so they can open them and be given random things that, you know.
They're chasing that
That's
high.
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
Oh,
was...
I got a
You can
legendary.
tell. Watch some of these loot box openings. Watch them. You can tell. They're just opening them. A lot of them see something they didn't even know it existed.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't know it was something they could get, but they're happy that they got it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because it says legendary epic, and it's so cool.
And that's the thing. So that's where we're at. Like, I don't think loot boxes are going away. I don't think EA learned anything other than how they can do it in a way that won't stir up shit and get them in trouble with the fans.
Yeah.
And I think that by looking at Mass Effect Andromeda, where nothing was really said about the loot boxes there. I mean, I said some shit in my review. It didn't really affect me because I'm not there for the fucking horde mode.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was like a small portion of my review.
Yeah.
But the point is that no one went after them for those loot boxes.
Yeah, the
and
negative
in fact,
reception.
mainstream media fluffed the multiplayer.
Yeah, and all the negative reception was never about the multiplayer. There were, I mean, maybe some, but the majority, I'd probably say like 85 to 90% of the negative reception for that game was for the single player experience.
Yeah.
Like how characters looked, their animations, how the character ran, or just like story plot holes and how it was a rehash of the old games. All stuff that is warranted that I can understand.
It felt like a game by committee that were trying to recreate something.
Right,
If
and
that makes sense.
And I'm not saying that all of this was unwarranted. I can definitely understand where it's coming from.
It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, but it wasn't as good as people defended it to be.
Right, but what I'm
If that
saying
makes
is
sense.
that will show them the negative things. Like that only teaches them negative things moving forward as a company.
Oh yeah, so they're like, okay, well the main story mission that we spent the majority of the funds has got shit on. Meanwhile, people are spending $15,000 in loot boxes in our multiplayer only horde mode shit.
In like a week.
Maybe we should have just made that the game.
Yeah, you
And
see.
so yeah, moving forward, I would not get excited about Anthem. I would tamp that shit down. I would wait until it comes out, watch several reviews, and wait a week or two. Because with a game like Anthem, with that sort of flash, just like with Destiny 2, we're going to see a lot of people praising it and talking about how good it is until they hit the end of it and they realize how hollow and empty it all is. So wait until that moment. I would say 2 weeks after release. 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to start hearing people's definitive words. And look at what they said about the other games. Judge it, like, just tamp your hype down. I'm just basically explaining what I'm doing with this game.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not giving EA my trust. I'm not giving Bioware my trust.
Yeah.
Show me what you can do, and like that's how you can show me.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you this game drops with loot boxes day one. Cosmetic, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Loot boxes
some
day
form
one.
of loot box system.
Yeah, some form of loot box, some form of microtransaction system of some sort.
Whether it's
With
meteor
the day
content.
with the day one DLC season pass.
Oh yeah, whether it's meteor content, whether there's more gameplay hours or an actual intricate progression system, it doesn't matter.
I'm guaranteeing it has loot boxes.
Yeah.
Because now, as long as it's cosmetic only, no one can really bash them.
Yeah.
Because if you bash them for it, then you got to go after Overwatch. And if you go after Overwatch, you got to go after games like Rocket League. And then all of a sudden, these games that are popular, that are benefiting off of the fucking mental gymnastics people fucking, just to fuck with people's brains while they're playing it, to give into these fucking RNG-based reward systems, you gotta defend them. You gotta defend them. So as long as it's only cosmetics, it's only looks in Anthem, none of you people that fucking support Overwatch can say shit.
Nope.
And that's sadly the majority of the gaming community at this time. Not a lot of people want to come out and go after Blizzard and Overwatch because they're scared to piss people off or lose subscribers or whatever. They just don't do it.
Or go against the
Or
grain.
they're part of the problem.
Yeah.
They themselves are addicted to these things. Either way, if that continues, expect loot boxes to fucking stay. So long as Overwatch still has them, so long as all these games have these loot boxes that exist, that are fine with people, that they just don't go after because they're cosmetic only, and it's fine, and that, you know, it's fair because it's random, and it's random because that way it's fair. All that bullshit. Don't expect anything less from fucking Anthem. Don't expect anything less from any other game coming out.
Any other game company at all.
And don't try to come out against them when they do it.
Yeah, because all they have to do is follow the same model that's being defended. All they have to do
is follow the Blizzard model.
Yep, follow the model that's being defended.
Microtransaction Engine 128, all up in your ass.
Patented.
Patented and in your ass.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's our thoughts on EA, Anthem, Bioware, this whole loot box fucking thing that just continues to go on. And I'm honestly sick of talking about it, but it's just like, it's the sort of thing that you see and it's like, okay, but I thought we all didn't like loot boxes.
Yeah.
I thought we all hated loot boxes.
I thought that's why there's controversies about this passing by through legislation and laws.
Yeah, like, but hold on, but Overwatch and Blizzard, those are fine and we love those.
Yeah.
We love those loot boxes. Those loot boxes are the right way to do things. What?
Yeah.
See, as a community, we need to not allow for double standards. We need to not allow for, like, even Rocket League to fucking defend the loot boxes there. Because they don't need to be defended. These things exist because they know they can take advantage of people. And their addiction to them. Otherwise, you know, they would just sell you what you want.
Loot boxes are always...
The thing about that is with the fucking letting people pick what they want, there's a cap there. There's a cap on how much you can get from the customer. Because there's this amount of things, this amount of time to unlock them, or this amount of fucking money to unlock them. So there's a cap on the player's time spent in the game, the player's coins spent in the game. When you randomize it, you take that away. There is now no limit to what one stupid motherfucker might spend. There is no limit to what one person who has a weak mind, who likes getting things randomly, doesn't like looking at it and saying, ooh, I'm going to play until I get that, and I'm going to win and win and win until I get that. They just want to buy a fucking loot box. They want to open a fucking loot box. They now have no cap. They can spend all fucking night.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you most of the time they don't even buy duplicates with the fucking coin they earn. They'd rather win the fucking thing or buy the ones they need. I bet you they wait. I bet you they just sit on that fucking currency and they wait. Because they'd rather get it in the loot box next paycheck. They'd rather get that skin in the loot box next paycheck.
Yeah, because all that extra currency, that could be extra free loot boxes.
So that's why loot boxes exist. That's why I don't foresee them going away. Because it takes a cap and it makes it endless. Endless amount of money someone will spend if they're addicted and weak.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it for us. That's all for me. You got anything else?
Nah, that's it.
That's it. All right, everybody. Fucking love you. Till next time, stay safe, stay awesome, and
keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. All right.
Yeah.